Thesis statements are the heart of an essay. They answer the prompt, provide structure, and clarify your arguments. Through this video, you will learn what a thesis statement is, what a thesis statement should include, and where a thesis statement belongs in your paper. A thesis statement has several purposes. It is always a clear statement that answers the question in the prompt. It functions as a roadmap for your paper and tells your reader what to expect from your writing. If you are writing an opinion or argumentative piece, your thesis statement gives the reader your opinion. If you are writing an analytical or literary piece, your thesis tells the reader how you will interpret the significance of the subject. Your thesis statement is dependent on the type of writing the prompt is asking you to produce. In order to write a functional thesis statement, you must analyze your prompt and decide which form of writing the prompt is asking of you. Determine whether or not you are writing an expository, argumentative, or analytical piece. Each type of writing demands a different type of thesis. For an expository thesis statement, you must explain and list the main points of your subject. More details will follow in your body paragraphs. For an argumentative or persuasive thesis, you must provide your opinion about the issues without using first person. You will also include an overview of your main reasons for your opinion. For an analytical thesis statement, you will break down your idea or issue into its parts. This sometimes includes an evaluation of the issue or idea. Let's look more closely at each of these types of thesis statements. Expository thesis statements. Explain and list the main points of your subject. More details will follow in your body paragraphs. For example, this is a typical expository prompt. Describe the causes of World War II. An appropriate thesis statement could sound like this. The causes of World War II include, but are not limited to, problems with the Treaty of Versailles, increasing militarization of advanced economies, and the isolationist policies of Western powers following World War I. Argumentative or persuasive thesis statements provide your opinion about the issue without using first person, and they also include an overview of your main reasons for your opinion. Here are a few examples of argumentative prompts and example thesis statements. Here is a potential prompt. Write an essay arguing for or against students being able to use cell phones during class time. An appropriate thesis statement for this prompt might read, students should be able to use cell phones in class because there are educational apps that further learning, phones are necessary in emergency situations, and they allow students to access lessons, make up work, and contact their teachers when they're absent. Notice that in this thesis statement, it is very specific, it answers the prompt, and it outlines the reason for the opinion. Look at the second example argumentative prompt. This prompt might read, write an argument about which main character from King Lear is the most tragic. A potential thesis statement might read, Cordelia is the most tragic character in King Lear because she loses the most throughout the course of the play. She did not cause the negative consequences she must endure, and she is an upstanding moral character who still faced a tragic end. All of these qualities make her more tragic than either her sisters or her father. Notice again that it is a specific statement of opinion responding to the prompt and outlines the reasons for that opinion. Analytical thesis statements. This type of thesis will require you to break down an issue or idea into its parts and evaluate the issue or idea. This type of thesis often requires you to quantify, categorize, or break down something. An example of this type of prompt might sound like this. In a multi-paragraph essay, examine the development of a critical theme of mice and men. A potential thesis statement answering this prompt might sound like the following. Of Mice and Men grapples with the idea of justice as dependent on the individual, not as a group understanding of right and wrong. Steinbeck presents Lenny as a character who exemplifies these different ideals of justice. Notice that the thesis statement quantifies the prompt and also defines or answers the question embedded in the prompt, which is, what was a critical theme of Mice and Men? The thesis statement both answers the question in the prompt and gives some structure for what will follow in the rest of the essay. Direct your attention to the second example. Another analytical prompt might sound like this. After reading the primary documents, analyze the role of women in post-colonial Nigeria. A potential thesis statement might read, as evidenced in the documents, women in post-colonial Nigeria experienced an expansion of rights, but were still limited in many ways. They were influential in the domestic realm, but we're also seeing a rise in socioeconomic power and political influence. This does not mean, however, that women enjoyed the same rights and respect as men for many decades following colonization. Notice that the thesis statement answers the prompt and defines what the rest of the essay will be about. Where does the thesis statement belong in an essay? The thesis statement should appear at the end of your introduction. Usually, it is the last sentence of your introduction. Read through the example introductory paragraph to see where the thesis statement appears. It is bolded and italicized. Notice that the thesis statement appears at the end of this introductory paragraph. A thesis statement should not stand alone as an entire introduction. Your topic needs more context. Thus, the thesis statement appears at the end of an introduction. The rest of the introduction has already introduced the idea of the rest of the paper. How does the thesis statement shape the rest of your essay? The thesis statement provides the ideas and structure for the rest of your essay. Each one of your body paragraphs should directly tie into your thesis statement. The purpose of the body paragraphs is to prove individual portions of your thesis. In fact, each topic sentence for your body paragraphs should harken back to the original thesis statement. If you would like to see some additional examples or need more help, check out these resources.